was preparing myself to make a video this morning on another topic. There's a thread going around here, the most mind-blowing endings to any song ever, and then I started thinking of my choices, and one of them that came to mind was 1967's Ode to Billie Joe, which really has a properly disturbing ending. And I played the record again because I hadn't heard the song in a while, and I was overcome. I was overcome with emotion, overcome with tears. You know, I don't cry all the time, but once in a while when I get an opportunity to be moved by something, you know, I let it happen. I let it flow, as they say. And all of a sudden I thought to myself, wow, what a good topic this would be for a video, talking about the song Ode to Billie Joe and how much I love the song. I think it's one of the greatest songs ever made, and one of the best records ever cut. And I have the laptop on here. You know, I knew a lot about it already, but I just wanted to brush up a little bit. And you know, ever since I was a little kid, this song really gave me chills. And as I say, you know, I feel like I want to break down a little bit. You know, it's kind of weird. It's a haunting song. You know, a lot of you already know the song, what it is, what it's about, and some of you may not know, and I would suggest you give it a listen. And if you listen to it, if you don't know it, really take a moment to just invest about 4 minutes, or a little over 4 minutes into it, and let yourself just go for a while. I mean, really have nothing going on in the background to distract you. Just close your eyes and really listen to the song and see if you don't get moved by it. What I like about the song so much is that it's open to interpretation. It's open to suggestion. You know, it's not a definite, clear-cut scenario that's going on here. It leaves a lot to the listener's imagination. And basically, you know, I like what it says here in the plot description here, which I could probably say it myself, but I like the way it's worded here. It says, the song is a first-person narrative that reveals a Southern Gothic tale in its verses by including the dialogue of the narrator's family at dinner time on the day that Billie Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Throughout the song, suicide and other tragedies are contrasted against the banality of everyday routine and polite conversation. The quick passage of events and deaths in just 1 year's time remind the listeners how quickly things can change. You know, basically it's a song where you can hear it for yourself, and those of you who already know it know what I mean. But it's about a young girl who's out doing chores with her family, and then they're called in for dinner time, and they go in to sit down around the table and share a meal. And Mama says that there's some news that Billie Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge that day. Just heard about it, and apparently to his death. I'm getting emotional already. I mean, you know, because it's really, you know, I mean, I don't know anybody in my life, I don't think, that committed suicide, but just, you know, just stirs up emotions of people you lost and things, you know. But the thing is, at the dinner table, as they're discussing this event, everybody seems very, like, casual about it. You know, the father just wants to get on talking about that he's got 5 more acres to plow. And he says, oh, Billie Joe never had a lick of sense, you know, and dismisses it. And then the brother who's sitting there, the girl's, the lead singer is a young girl, and the brother kind of feels a little bit taken aback by it. And he says, well, I just saw him yesterday at the sawmill, and now you tell me that, you know, he's jumped off the bridge. Wow. You know, and then he tries to remember some better times. He thinks about some recollections he had with Billie Joe when he was still alive and stuff like that. But through all of this, the girl is in like a state of shock. When it gets to the girl has lost her appetite. She can't eat a single bite. She's somehow disturbed by this. She doesn't really say anything, doesn't let on to why exactly she's so affected by this. Everybody else seems to talk about it like it's not that big a deal, and yet she's devastated. And the mother wants to know, well, I've been cooking all morning, you haven't touched a single bite, how come you can't eat? Meanwhile, Dad's saying, pass the biscuits, please, and the brother's saying, I'll have another piece of apple pie, even though he's still pondering how this could have happened. Then we go to the end of the song, and by the end of the song, we find out that the girl is still thinking about Billie Joe McAllister, and it's a year later after hearing the news. And she goes to the Tallahatchie Bridge, and things have happened over the last year. Her dad has passed away from a virus, and the mother has become rather distant and indifferent, doesn't really want to do anything anymore. But as for the young girl, she still goes to the bridge and picks flowers and throws them into the muddy water of the bridge as if it's some kind of tribute. And that's really it. And for over 50 years now, people have been trying to figure out the mystery of the song. And I think it's best left anonymous, unexplained, People have always asked Bobby Gentry over the years, what when you wrote this song, what did you mean? What did she throw into the water? It says in the song, in my interpretation, it says that she picks flowers. She spends the mornings picking flowers and throwing them in. I look at it just throwing flowers like on a grave kind of thing, like just in tribute. Well, everybody can get whatever they want out of the song. My feeling is, my interpretation has always been that the lead singer, the narrator, obviously had some kind of feelings for Billie Joe. Maybe they had a little fling or a little relationship going. Maybe, something they didn't want the family to know about. It was secret. That's why she doesn't speak up. So to her, losing Billie Joe was much more of a personal blow than to the rest of the family. But we don't have to know this. People say she's throwing things off the bridge. Or she's throwing a baby. Some people think that she threw a baby off the bridge. Some people think they threw a wedding ring off the bridge, and all these types of things. To me, it like I said, basically in the song, it says I pick flowers and throw them in to the muddy water. So it's the flowers she's throwing in, I think. But it's neither here nor there, because, as I say, it's open to interpretation. And Bobby Gentry herself said the main theme, the main point of the song is how indifferent everybody is, how casual and indifferent everybody is to the death. That's really what it's really about. It doesn't matter what was thrown into the water. Well, the song was very popular, and in 1976 there was a movie made, which I'd like to forget. I saw that movie, and for everybody that had to find out, what happened, they made up a fictional, what if kind of scenario where, why did Billie Joe kill himself? According to the movie, he had a drunken homosexual experience and decided to drown himself. That's the movie's explanation, which I think is really a terrible way to cheapen a great song. I think the fact that it's so ambiguous is what makes it so wonderful and so haunting and so sad and bittersweet and all the rest of it. As I say, everybody can have their own feelings about it. It's interesting that the song originally was over 7 minutes long and had extra verses and told more specific details about Billie Joe. But they decided that they'd cut it down the way it exists as we know it now to just over 4 minutes, because it was better as a single release, as a song, and it certainly works well as it is. I got to tell you, I would be very, very interested one day to hear the long version of this, with the extra verses and the more of the story. But I don't know if that would enhance it. I think it would take away from it. So anyway, I just wanted to make this video because it just hit me as, off the spur of the moment. What a great idea for a video. How much I love this song. How much I'm affected by it. And I really got tears this morning, listening to it again in preparation for another video. And what a great song. What a great song.